Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. If you're watching this, you probably want to know more about riding a motorcycle on the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's what we're going to get into. If you're not familiar with the Parkway, it is a 469-mile unbroken stretch of road that runs along the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The ends of the Parkway are located in Waynesboro, Virginia, and Cherokee, North Carolina, and there is no cost to access or travel on the Parkway. In terms of length, the Parkway's 469 miles are split between Virginia and North Carolina, with Virginia having about 215 miles and North Carolina having about 254. At the border between these states is the Blue Ridge Music Center near Galax, Virginia. You'll often hear live music coming from the breezeway. Midday mountain music is a feature every day that the center is open. While it's only 469 miles long, it does take some time to ride. The typical speed limit is 45 miles an hour, with some short stretches being lower than that. Plan your trip accordingly, as no one travels the Parkway in a hurry, and you shouldn't either. Traffic isn't normally an issue, but you will encounter visitors traveling well beneath the speed limit, especially around overlooks, mountaintop stretches, areas with good visibility. Sometimes slow-moving vehicles will pull over to let you pass. Sometimes they don't. So again, don't be in a rush to get from one end to the other, or it's going to be a frustrating experience for you and those around you. Total driving time is estimated to be about 15 hours. I've found that to be pretty accurate. Here are some estimated drive times for sections of the road. Accommodations. Let's talk about accommodations along the Parkway. First off, there is very limited cell service for large swaths of the ride, and Wi-Fi is mostly non-existent, even at the hotels that exist on the Parkway. Additionally, there are no gas stations or service stations along the Parkway, so the trip does require some prep work. Here's a list of mileposts that have gas stations nearby. You'll need to hop off the Parkway to gas up, then hop back on to continue. There are a number of small country stores along the route where you can often find cold bottled water, soda, Gatorade, a snack, etc., as well as stickers, maps, t-shirts, and other souvenirs. There are even a couple of places to stay. Notably is the Peaks of Otter Lodge and the Pisgah Inn. Peaks of Otter's in North Carolina, about halfway. Pisgah Inn is down just north of Asheville. Both of these places have restaurants and are located in idyllic locations, and as a result tend to fill up in advance, especially during the fall. Make your reservations in advance. There are designated camping spots along the way as well if you're looking to rough it. All right, so you've planned your trip. You've got gas stops, lodging, meal breaks all mapped out. What can you expect? With limited cell service and no Wi-Fi, the Parkway experience is largely analog. This is one of the reasons I enjoy it so much. There are mileposts every mile, ascending from north to south. So if you're coming down from the north, they're going to be on the right. Some can be hard to see, some may even be missing, but you'll see them if you look for them. If you're getting on the Parkway from somewhere between the ends, you'll often encounter a sign that designates which way is north and which way is south. This is handy for when you leave the Parkway for gas or lodging and are ready to continue. As you're traveling along the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains, you don't need to go far to encounter an overlook. Most overlooks are marked about a quarter mile in advance with a sign, and these are a good place to stop and take pictures if there's a view, take a break, or even just turn around and head in the other direction. Many of them also have a picnic table or two, as well as trash bins. And while most of these overlooks are paved, there are some additional pull-offs that aren't. Parkway also has a number of point of interest signs, as well as miles to the next large city. Let's talk about road conditions and hazards. For the most part, the Parkway is a motorcyclist's dream. It is a well-kept double yellow with sweeps and views. There are a few spots in the road where some hot potholes or weather damage has occurred. Be advised. Additionally, and it is rare, but there can be some rock slides, putting some larger rocks in the road from time to time, though maintenance generally gets this cleared up very, very quickly. Likewise with fallen trees. If you're riding during the warmer months, you may encounter mowing ahead signs. You can expect to find a large tractor mowing the shoulder. Be mindful that these tractors are often sticking into the road a little bit as they slowly move along, and there might be grass clippings. The mowers do a good job of keeping clippings off the road, but windy conditions can change that, so just keep an eye out for them. As of this video, there are a few detours on the parkway, meaning you'll need to leave and get back on a little further down. Currently, this means traveling through the city of Roanoke, Virginia, getting off around milepost 121 and back on at milepost 135. Side effect of this is that detour will take you through a wonderful ride on its own. You're probably on the parkway because you enjoy riding through curves, and for the most part, the curves along the parkway are easy to navigate. That is, what you see is what you get. If it looks like a sweeper, it is. If it looks sharp, it is. However, there are some that tighten up as you get into them in a decreasing radius. These are well marked with the sign ahead. I've been riding the parkway for years, and every year I see motorcyclists go down in the curves, or more specifically, run off the road to the outside. If you're used to riding in a flat area with limited low visibility curves, just be mindful that these can take you off guard. There are 26 tunnels along the parkway, one in Virginia at milepost 53, and the rest are all in North Carolina, with the majority of these tunnels being between milepost 333 and 466. What to watch out for? Most of these tunnels are in a slight curve. That is, when you get into them, you can kind of see the exit, with a couple of them also having a bit of slope. The tunnels are narrow with no real shoulder inside. Coming through on a bike in the middle of the day with sunglasses or a tinted visor can be a little disorienting when you go through. There are a number of critters and other wildlife that can pose a threat while on a motorcycle. The big one here is deer. White-tailed deer are common along almost every stretch of road in areas where the parkway runs. They are a common sight. Bear can sometimes be seen as well, though not nearly as common as deer. Additionally, in the southern stretches, elk can be seen. Visitors may not approach deer, bear, or elk closer than 50 yards or 150 feet. It goes without saying that you don't want to get close to bear, but elk can also be protective and should be kept at a safe distance. Obviously, connecting with one of these animals at speed on a bike isn't something you want to do. Be extra careful if riding around and between dusk to dawn. On the parkway, you'll also commonly find turkey, hawks, eagles, smaller mammals such as rabbits and groundhogs, and the occasional snake. Being in the mountains, venomous snakes such as a rattlesnake can sometimes be observed. The parkway is a popular place for hikers and cyclists. Portions of the Appalachian Trail as well as the Mountains to Sea Trail run alongside the parkway, so a hiker with a backpack walking along the side of the road is a common sight. Cyclists can also be very common, especially around the larger metro areas. The last hazard I'll mention is the weather. It can change very quickly, with thunderstorms popping up all over in late summer to significant temperature swings in the spring and fall. The temperature itself can often be 15 degrees cooler up in the mountains than in the surrounding areas. An 80-degree summer day that starts out with a t-shirt can be 65 degrees in fog and rain in the mountains. When I'm traveling large sections of the parkway, I consider a jacket and gloves essential. I'll often pack rain gear if it's late summer and heated gear if it's early spring or late fall. In the winter, sections of the parkway can be closed due to snow or ice. December through March is not a reliable time to be able to travel the entire parkway. Another phenomenon I've noticed is that despite traveling north to south, the ambient temperature tends to decrease as you continue south, with the coldest area being near Mount Mitchell in North Carolina, though Apple Orchard Mountain in Virginia can also be chilly. Final thoughts for motorcycling the parkway. It's a wonderful trip. So much of it is memorable, and it is a great break from the heat in the summer. This is a bucket list item for many riders, and rightfully so. Don't rush it. Give yourself a few days to travel the entire length, and make it a point to check out the Smoky Mountain National Park at the southern end. Elk are often seen there. Some places that I highly recommend you stop: the Thunder Ridge Overlook in Virginia, just south of the Peaks of Otter. The Peaks of Otter Lodge and Restaurant. It's a great lodge, great food, great views. The Pisgah Inn is just amazing. and then Mount Mitchell being the highest mountain east of the Mississippi. That's it. Have a safe trip. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.